This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai. As you can see, today's the birthday episode. Celebrating our birthday here and doing a Thursday night football show for you guys that want to remind you for the trillionth time, all of the episodes that we do on YouTube are educational, which means you are supposed to be learning the things I'm teaching you. If you are not learning, if you're not practicing the lessons learned on your own, then you're not a good student and you can't expect to be successful. You have to apply yourself. If you're simply watching this to see, I wonder what play he winds up on at the end, and nothing else but that, you will never be a successful bettor. You have to apply yourself. You have to do what I'm doing on the app, on the screen, and use it for other games, or future games, or different things for this game. You have to actually use the app as it's designed, and that is the only way that you're going to have success, by actually trying. The reason I'm wearing this shirt is because the only shirt I have that's, I think, birthday related. It says, "It's my birthday, buy me a drink." And I actually designed this shirt, I want to say 15 years ago for my birthday, where I went on a cruise. And this was before I started getting like the drink packages and stuff. And I'm like, I'm just gonna walk around with this and see if anybody actually buys me a drink. This is when I was on the cruise, and only like 1 or 2 people bought me one. But yeah, I've kept the shirt 15 years, and you know, why not wear it? I mean, if you want to buy me a drink, you can. You already know the Venmo and the Cash App for like all the other stuff we've done in Discord. It's me, Travis, on both of those if you guys want to buy me a drink, but of course you don't have to. Anyway, let's get back to focusing here on Thursday Night Football. We had an amazing week 1. Let's just do a recap for you. Here's what we got right on week 1. Almost everything. We got almost everything right on week 1. We hit every single thing in week 1. We hit every single thing in the week 1 Thursday Night Football show. We hit every single thing in the main Sunday slate of games show. We hit every single thing in the Sunday Night Football show. And technically, we almost, you can say we hit everything in the Monday Night Football show that was actually last night, because I'm recording this on Tuesday. So here's what, technically, we got everything right on a technicality. But in literalness, the Friday show was a wash. We don't even count the Friday show on our record, because once Xavier Worthy got knocked out in the first 5 seconds of the game because Travis Kelce is a behemoth and broke his shoulder or whatever happened there, it threw off the entire game plan for the Chiefs, and everything went downhill after that. So factoring in the number 1 receiver for the Chiefs not being available for 99% of the game, that of course threw everything off. So we just washed that. That is not part of this. Everything else that doesn't involve a massive injury that you simply can't predict, that's all the stuff that we're focusing on. So we hit everything Thursday, we hit everything on both Sunday shows, and then it came to Monday. And so Monday we had DJ Moore over yards. I believe he hit that, I want to say, either before halftime or very early in the third quarter. So that was a no sweat. The other thing that we had on Monday Night Football, it was we had a brand new tool that we launched for team tools. It was the team total predictor. So we've always had the game total predictor. That's where we predict like the total score of the game, over under. But we just launched a brand new team total. Right now it's available for NFL, but I probably by the end of this week you're also going to see it available for MLB, maybe even WNBA as well. As long as we can predict the things and build it in, then it's going to be shown on the app. But anyway, so our AI, we're like, okay, let's figure out what the best way to use this is, we talked about it on the show for Monday Night Football because it had just recently been added to the site that day, and it was under Chicago Bears 22.5 points. And I said that we hit everything technically speaking, things that don't involve massive injuries early on, like the Kansas City nonsense. But technically speaking, the Chicago Bears offense did not score more than 22.5 points. So the AI was correct in predicting the Chicago Bears would not score offensively more than 22.5 points. We didn't predict that J.J. McCarthy was going to throw a pick six to their defense, wash away the defensive touchdown. The AI got that correct. So the AI was on the right track. But that's the only technical loss from the show from that week. So we hit everything else. But anyway, this is what we're going to be doing here for Thursday Night Football. We have Green Bay, Washington. So we're starting with receiving yards because you already know that we always start with receiving yards for the NFL shows, just like we always start with strikeouts for the MLB shows. It always starts with the same stuff because this is what I believe and what I've shown is true, is that the AI can predict. It's easier for the AI to predict this stat than most of the other ones. Now, you may have more success with other things, and that's fine. But for the sake of the shows, we focus on whatever I want to do. And I have not missed a single receiving yards prop this season out of all of the shows I did for you week one. Now, what I just did is I just changed the minimum line to 40. So I'm going to reset that real quick because I already know there's no over or under trifectas on the receiving yards. So because we don't have the over-under trifectas, which is 40 is the minimum line, but there's a few other things that factor into that. We just focus on one part of that. Okay, which players have a 40-yard line for receiving yards? And there are two players on each team. We got Romeo and Jaden on Green Bay, and then we have Scary Terry, and Debo on Washington. Those are the players that have a line of 40 and higher. If we quickly, so you have them all on the screen here on the right. So I just quickly glance at the differences without it looking at anything else. The first thing I look at is there any difference that's worth looking at? 3.7, no. 1.1, no. 7.1, no. 9.5, maybe. So Debo's, he had a pretty decent game. He had a pretty long rushing touchdown, and then he had 77 receiving yards. He was definitely peppered a lot. How he had like 5 straight games here and then goes off for 96, last game of the season, and then first game of this season. So he's kind of all over the place. His line, it looks like his line started at 51.5. It dipped down to 50.5 and then 51.5. So his line did dip, and of course, if we're going under, which is what the data is saying, he's 2 out of 3 in the trifecta check. So he's got the sportsbooks are favoring the under because you see it's minus 114 and then minus 110 over. The direction that the sportsbooks are leaning is the same direction that the AI is leaning because it has less than a 51.5 projection. The only thing it doesn't have is the gap is not good enough. I believe receiving yards requires a 25% difference, and we simply don't have that here. So I don't know. I don't think I'm in love with this, but we're going to keep looking at stuff until we find something we are in love with. So let's look at rushing yards. So it looks like we still have the filter of 40 yards and higher. There are 3 players that have that. One of them is a QB. We got Ja'Cory, the rookie, who had a pretty decent week 1 game. We have Jaden Daniels and, of course, Josh Jacobs. Season 100%, so it looks like both Washington players hit this line in week 1, and Josh Jacobs did not. Hold on, let me look at this real quick. So yeah, he's a rookie, so this is his only game he had. So yeah, he's 3% away from being a trifecta, because if you see here, so pay attention to this when I change the filter, over minus 113. So the over is minus 113, the under is minus 111. So it means the sportsbooks are slightly, super slightly favoring the over. If this was 25%, you would see the trifecta notification here that he's a trifecta. The problem is they have so many gosh dang running backs. They have Austin Eckler. I know, what's his face? Chris Rodriguez. I think he did not play. He was ruled out week 1. They did have Brian Robinson as another running back, but then they traded him to San Francisco. So I don't think I hate this. It's not a trifecta, but I think it's so close. And he got fed the rock pretty often. 82 rushing yards in that first one. He had a better line to go over last night. It was 40.5. Now it's 41.5. But what we're going to do is what we always do. So I think this is what we're going with for Thursday Night Football's prop. So I think what we're doing here is we're going to look at the props comparison to see if his line is better on any other option. And then, of course, it goes to Thursday. Let's go here. We're going to go to rushing yards. Let me see. So we're looking for the lowest line. Oh. I think this actually makes it a trifecta. Let's go to BetMGM real quick. So BetMGM, Hard Rock, 38. I'm going to go back to the predictor real quick. Why is it not showing? So I think what the issue is with Jacory, so he's not showing when we highlight this. I think it's a name mismatch. I think like some sites have him as a hyphenated last name, some sites don't. But this is showing us that both of those sports books have him at a 38.5 line. I can just verify that real quick. I'm just going to pull up Hard Rock on my phone. And just triple check that here real quick. I mean, I trust my app, but I just want to make sure. And I also wonder how they spell his name. It's the most frustrating thing. Yeah, it looks like they have a hyphen form. Yeah, it's 38.5. So yeah, BetMGM, Hard Rock have him at 38.5, and this, I think this is enough to make him a 25% difference. So this is enough to make him a trifecta at this line. If you aren't shopping lines, and I say this all the time, but I know there's a lot of people that are watching this for the first time. If you're not shopping lines, you're shooting yourself in the foot. There are people that, what was something that like barely covered this weekend that we did? Oh, Devontae Adams. If you watch the show, we got him at 49.5. The show said 49.5. It showed you the lowest line and where to find it. And there's people out there, for whatever reason, you still have loyalty to one book, even though they don't give a crap about you. And you locked it in at like 52, 53, whatever it was. And he finished with 51 receiving yards. So everybody that shopped lines and locked it in as we did the YouTube show for it, we all hit. And then there's people like, oh man, I can't believe this missed. And I go, it didn't miss, it hit. But then I realize that you forced a higher line or a worse line on a sports book because you didn't want to do the bet on a different book that is available to you. You should have accounts on every legalized sports book that is available to you in your state. So when you go to this app and you see the best possible line is 38.5 on BetMGM and Hard Rock, chances are, if you're in a legal betting state, you have at least one of these available to you where you don't need to lock in Fanatics 40.5, DraftKings 41, or FanDuel's 42.5. Focusing on getting the best line, you'll be surprised when you look back like an entire 365 days of how many bets, if you aren't shopping lines, how many more bets you would have won if you simply looked for the best line that was available to you. Again, for everything available in your state legally. Like for example, so I'm in Florida, and for the longest time, all we had was Hard Rock, but now we have won a parlay.online, which is pretty much where all my action goes. Unless Hard Rock has a better line, which in this case they do for Jacory here. So I think that's what we're going to be doing here for the prop. Now let's see if there's anything team bet wise that we like. Again, we're not going to force it. I think it was Sunday Night Football. There was nothing that we were in love with on the team bet stuff, so we just did the player props and we hit all of those. So we're definitely not betting a money line on either side. Green Bay is projected as an implied chance to win the game by the sports books at 65%. RAI is saying they are way too overvalued. It's not saying that they're going to lose. It's saying this negative 11.91. It says they're way too overprojected or overvalued. They should not be a minus 185 favorite. They should be like a minus 120, minus 115 favorite. So we're not touching money lines on this. But the thing that we do when we start the money line predictor and we see this as red, typically more often than not, that means that we're going to be playing the spread of the underdog. So if the favorite money line is over projected, which is what this red negative number means, it means the spread is potentially in play, which again you see here, Washington plus 3.5, 55.75% chance to hit. If you paid attention to what I said on all of the millions of shows I created for you that made you a lot of money for week 1, I don't like spreads that are less than 3. Typically, if something's favored like at plus 1.5, more often than not, I like doing the money line. Like we had for the Buffalo Ravens game, it said Buffalo plus 1.5. I would have probably done Buffalo money line there because I don't like spreads that are less than 3. And if I did Buffalo money line, Buffalo won, I would have made, if you did that, which I told you that's how we use this tool, I said this I think in every video, then you would have made more money because Buffalo did win. So this case, it's not less than 3, so I do like this spread because that means it could be tied at the end and Green Bay kicks a game-winning field goal, and this still hits because if they win by 3, Washington still wins the spread. So the other thing I'm going to look at is... yeah, there's no space here. So the difference between what the AI is saying for the total, actually, let's go to this. We can look at the team totals. There's not enough difference here between what the AI is saying and what the sportsbooks are giving you. But this is the brand new tool that we dropped for team tools. I think for the Chicago Bears, which again, on a technicality, we got it right because the offense did not score more points than what we said they would. I think if we can find like a 3.5 on the difference on either side, that's something that we kind of look for because both sides are relatively close, 1.5. I don't think that the team total stuff was what we're going to do. So I think for the sake of team stuff, I think we're going to do the spread. So that's the two things we're looking at for Thursday Night Football. That's the player prop and that's the team stuff. For the love of all that's holy, if you have any questions, make sure you ask. I have a Discord. There's over 17,000 people in it. And that doesn't mean that it's overcrowded. That means that it's easier for you to get the answer to your questions. So if you come into the Discord and you follow the steps in the unlock channels channel to unlock it, which first of all is the craziest thing to me, that people come in and they say, how do I unlock channels? When the only channel, one of the only channels you can see as soon as you join just Discord, which for the sake of the show is you clicking on the Discord logo in the top left. That's how you get in the server. There's a channel, ladies and gentlemen, that is called Unlock Free Access. Unlock Free Channels. Go to the Unlock Free Channels channel and look at what it says. Guess what? It tells you the one thing you have to do to unlock the free channels. The amount of people that say, why can't I see any channels? Or how do I unlock channels? When that channel is literally staring you in the face, it blows my mind. Get in the Discord. Unlock the free channels. Ask questions. Get answers. Stop lighting your money on fire. Stop guessing. Stop telling random people on the internet. This tool is for you to stop relying on other people. You rely on you. I am teaching you how you get to rely on you by using the #1 rated award-winning PlayerProps.ai. I would say player prediction, but I mean, we have team tools, so just sports betting prediction and education tools. But guys, you just have to try. If you listen to me, and as I showed you how to use my app for every single game this week, you'd be up a lot of money, which of course, if you're in the Discord with the free channels unlock, over $50,000 of winning screenshots were dropped for week 1 in the Football Winners channel. If you know your question is, where do I find the Football Winners channel? Guess what it's called? It's called Football Winners. Look at the names of the channel. The first thing you need to do when you get in Discord and you unlock the channels, just look at everything so you understand how the Discord works. $50,000, over $50,000 in winning screenshots for week 1. for the people who apply themselves. Listen and use the app as designed. If you use the app how you want to, for building your 10-pick, 15-pick parlays, I'm guessing you probably didn't win a whole lot of money this week because you're still stuck doing your own thing. If you want to have the same level of success as the people who dropped $50,000 with the winning screenshots in Discord, guess what? It's as easy as doing exactly what they're doing. I don't mean tailing them. I mean doing what they're doing, using the app, how they're using it, asking questions, how they're asking questions, getting answers, working with the rest of the community 24/7, 365 to find the best ultimate outcomes. For the love of all that's holy, just put effort into this. It's not rocket science. It's easy. You just have to try. If you try, you will succeed. If you do not succeed, the only reason is that you didn't try. That's what we're doing for Thursday Night Football. We'll see you guys in the Discord. That's all I have for you here. Good luck, guys.